Hello everybody, today we're going to unpack and take a close-up look of the Tudor mini sub reference 73090. So let's go ahead and open up the package. And just a note to you guys, if you're ever shipping or sending a watch, never send it in a flat package like this. Always send it in a sturdy box instead, because when you send it in a flat package like this, chances are it could get crushed or have items stacked on it, causing the watch to press against itself and result in some form of damage. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and open up the package. Okay, so there is some paperwork which I'll put aside, and of course there is the watch itself, and everything's been emptied out from the card packaging right there, and as you can see, not very much protection at all. So this is a negative example of sending a watch through the mail. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up this bubble wrap packaging. And of course I'm doing this very carefully. The blade's slightly blunt anyway. And there we go, the Tudor mini sub reference 73090 in blue. So this watch also comes in black, or was sold in black, but it's now a discontinued watch. So this watch or reference was manufactured in the early 90s. So it is at least 2 decades old, or 20 years old. And the case diameter is 33 millimeters. So not your typical 39 or 40 millimeter Tudor case size. This is one of the smaller sizes. So there is a lady sub as well, which is 27 millimeters. So this is 33 millimeters. And then there's a size up as well, which is the mid-size Submariner, and that's 36 millimeters. And then followed by the standard 39 millimeter Submariner. So you can see quite a nice condition for its age. But typically the smaller watches, from my experience or observation, is that smaller size watches typically have a better condition or less wear on them compared to larger size watches. So you can see it sports a nice acrylic crystal on it, where you can see there is distortion as you look through around the circumference of the plexiglass crystal. And it does have a date display on it as well. So let's go ahead and unscrew the crown right there. And let's check out the movement of the hands right there. And let's push it down a notch. and wind the watch. And I'm trying to get it to the date position, and there we go. You can see the date wheel shuffle through the dates right there as I turn the crown. And you can see the seconds hand start to move as well. And let's just give it a full turn and watch the date wheel click. Right there. And let's go ahead and set the date again. And give it a few more winds. So as you can see, the seconds hand hacks or stops as I pull the crown to the outermost position. So you have that ability to set the time precisely down to the seconds. And let's tighten the crown again, or back down. So as you can see, the bracelet has some wear to it. It's been stretched, so it will need some level of restoration. As you can see, the links have a good amount of spread on them with quite a large amount of slack, as they're not held tightly in place anymore. But that brings the fun option of using other bracelet options or strap options with NATO, silicone, rubber, or leather straps. So let's go ahead and measure the lug width on it. So I have a ruler here, and let's measure the gap between the lugs right there. So not sure how well you can see that. I might have to move it out of the camera view just so I can read it precisely for a second. So it is 17 millimeters. Wide in the internal width between the lugs, or the lug width, for the width of the bracelet or other strap options, should you choose to personalize your watch or upgrade the bracelet or replace it. So it's always fun to personalize such watches with different straps, such as your NATO style straps, which give it more of a personalized look, of course, but that's nothing wrong with the bracelet either. So let's go ahead and pop this bracelet open. And check out the detail on the clasp right here. So nice clasp right there. And also nice to see that it is a folded link bracelet, which you don't quite really see anymore. So I'm just trying to show you the watch in various angles and views so you have a thorough experience of seeing a vintage piece like that in all its used and abused glory. But that being said, this watch is in particularly good condition for its age. And you can see the case back right there as well. With the Rolex detail or stamping. And let's see if I can bring it in closer so that you can get a better look of the detail on the case back and underside of the watch and bracelet. And there's the Tudor shield there. Let's get back to the lovely dial and bezel of the reference 73090. Let's go ahead and turn the bezel. So it is a bi-directional bezel. And like most Tudors, it does not click. So it's nice and tight. So that's good to see and experience. Let's try and wear it. So I have a 17.2 centimeter wrist circumference, and surprisingly it fits rather well. I don't think there's really any need for adjustment, maybe one position. So 17.2 centimeters around my wrist like that, or 6.75 inches. So hopefully this will give you some perspective of the size of the watch and what it might look like on your wrist. Okay, let's pop it off now. So it clicks nicely in place. Let's go ahead and set the time to 10:10. So that you have a better view or look at the dial details. So that's the Tudor Mini Sub reference 73090. Thanks for watching and happy taking!